From Ensenadas, how you doing? How you doing? It's still way too early in the morning for me. I still got sleep in my eyes. Yuck, Tom, TMI. How is everyone doing? Stock market? Ooh, what's going on in the stock market? Why are the futures down so much? Why are my positions down so much? We got that crypto markets are pumping, huh? ETH closing in on all-time highs. It hit an all-time high overnight, I believe. We got Bitcoin hitting all-time highs. It's pulled back a little. Cardano pumping, Polkadot pumping, and BNB pumping. You know why that's all amazing? Because those are my top 5 positions. So those actually have me pretty excited. All right, so we're looking at the old BlockFi account. Once again, link down below. An amazing way to earn passive income on your crypto. I cannot wait to continue to grow this account and grow my monthly recurring income. You can see for the month, what are we, 18 days into the month, I've accrued $352 in interest so far. I didn't move most of this money over until a few days into the month. So we're getting about 20-25 days at current rates over. It's really cool. You can even come over and, you know, you can pick on your asset. And you can see I've accrued 0.00316 Bitcoin this month, which is really good. And then we come over and we look at my Ethereum, same thing. You can see I'm moving in almost on 1/10 of an Ethereum. So I'm on pace to make maybe like close to 20% of Ethereum a month. Hey man, I need to get more money over into this account because we all know Ethereum and Bitcoin are going to the moon. All right, let's hop on over to Binance real quick because talk about wishing I had bought some more Binance, and that's a bit of the topic today. Look at that. BNB is up crazy, man. It is up. I need my readers. I'm getting old. 30, what does that say? 30%? Ooh, that's doing pretty good, man. I do think BNB is going to be a banger. If we, you know what, that's a good one. Let's pull up the coin market cap. Because I think that's pushing up there and almost taking over, possibly going to take over Cardano and Polkadot, man. They're all like pushing for 3, 4, and 5 right now. And I actually am beginning to think I wish I'd bought more BNB. I do think BNB could take them out. I do personally think BNB is an easily going to be a 2x, 2.5x from here, even a 5x. I think a $1,000 BNB is almost close to a certainty at this point, if not much more. And I think it might start outperforming right now Polkadot and ADA possibly. It's tough for me to say that because I'm obviously a big fan of ADA. We talk about Cardano all the time. I'm also a big fan of Polkadot. I'm staking Polkadot, getting 12% on Kraken. It's been doing really well for me. Stock market's about to open in a minute. We'll take a look at that. You can see the NASDAQ futures are down 154. I'm actually kind of surprised because Mara and Riot are down too, and MicroStrategies are down, and that's a surprise because Bitcoin hitting all-time highs in the crypto market, doing really well. Mara down about $4. MicroStrategy was down a bit more. It was down to 905 at one point this morning. The bid ask on that's really wide, so we'll see where that ends up. Yeah, there we go. So it's going to open in a minute. We'll see where that ends up, where that comes together. NNDM down a bit. Here we go. It's a sea of red, boys and girls. Pretty ugly. MicroStrategies hovering around 916. I bought 5 more shares of that. Oh, something filled in Neo. I'm not sure what just happened there. Probably a covered call. I thought I had Neo on this account, and oh yeah, that's right, I got rid of it. Maybe it was over in the IRA. Yeah, I had a covered call over there. Helps that down move, get a little passive income on the covered calls. So I had bought 5 shares of MicroStrategy in this account, my big account. Yesterday I put the bid in at 910 and that filled, and it actually went down a bit. And then, I was looking at the chart and I'm like, maybe I should have waited because there's a nice big gap fill here. So there's a pretty decent chance. They say 92% of all gaps get filled historically. So there's a 92% chance it's going to go down to right around 811, and then it'll probably go back up. But there's also a good chance this will be in the 8%. Some of the big news is, and it's huge news, and it's part of this. It's got to be mostly the reason why the market is going up again. MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor, another 900 million into Bitcoin, and he's buying that at like $50,000. I'm assuming it's around the $50,000 level. So to me, that's like a whole new support level right now. And even long term going into it, we go parabolic and there's a huge pullback. I mean, that tells me that 50,000 is going to be a really big support level no matter what. And that's going to continue to go up. Michael Saylor is going to continue to take whatever income they make, pump it into Bitcoin, look for creative ways to get into Bitcoin. It's almost a certainty that Apple's going to be buying Bitcoin because they're going to want, at minimum, they're going to want to need to have Bitcoin on their books just to be able to put it into their wallet. It's almost a certainty that they're going to add cryptocurrencies into their wallet. What they add, it's hard to say. It's almost a certainty. Facebook is going to do the same thing. Facebook has, what is it now, Diem or Libra? That's coming soon. That's going to be their stable coin. They're going to add other cryptocurrencies. Facebook is trying to take over the world. So they're getting into banking. They're wanting to be a fintech. That's what makes a lot of these stocks such a great play too. I'm very, very bullish. Even Amazon, same thing. They're going to be adding it. And look, this is my opinion. None of what I say today is financial advice. But I think there's a lot of room left to run in this crypto bull market. I do think it's going to be a longer cycle. I've already gone on record saying I don't think it's going to end at the whatever. Like there's different. The last few cycles, they always went the same thing. Like there was the halving and then it went so many days and then the bear market was some amount of time. I do think this one, nice. Think of a bathtub filling with water. I think it'll be a little bit slower rise. Hopefully, I personally don't want to see parabolic moves, too crazy of parabolic moves, because if there are parabolic moves, that's when you will definitely see crashes. Kind of curious to look at how we're looking now compared to like 2017. We had a nice rise up and then we had a pretty big dip that I believe was around 30%. Take a look at this. So yeah, 30% exactly. And now we're at, since that we're up, we've hit a high of up around 80%, which is pretty crazy. So I kind of want to go back and see how we looked 2017 and compare that. So where are we at? Man, we got to go way back. All right, so let's take a look. Did we have similar? We had something similar right around here, it looks like. Or maybe it was here. So we kind of started about, I would say July. I mean, I guess you could technically say about May. Let's take a look at how this looks. Yeah, so yeah, we kind of had a longer up and then a longer down and then a nice boom up. And so here we go. So maybe we were like, if we were to comparatively say we're right about here. I'm just kind of looking at it from a history perspective, and there's no guarantee that the same things are going to happen again. It is different this time, in my opinion. And that was a nice 40% move. And then we went up 183%. Wow, that's not even, look at this. That's not even the big one yet. And then from there, what do? We went up 180%. And we had a nice little 30% chili dipper again. Ooh, do we even want to look at this one? Because this one's going to be scary. So this is when it gets scary. This is when it goes parabolic. 251%. That's pretty insane. So possibly we have quite a bit of room left to run And then I'm looking for less parabolic moves and less moves like this, right? So after that 250%, it was obviously pretty bad. You know, we had a nice big down, 46% drop. And then we go back up. I mean, this is when it's tough. So if we get a parabolic move, my exit plan is going to start getting into place to take at least my initial investment off the table. I want to keep as much on as possible. I definitely want to, I do not want to sell any of my Bitcoin. I probably don't want to sell any of my Ethereum and my BlockFi. It's honestly going to be hard for me to figure out what I want to sell because I love Polkadot, I love Binance, I love Cardano. I'm definitely not going to sell any of that, but you've got to take, if you have a parabolic move, you got to consider at least taking, unless you truly don't care and you're in it for the long term. And you know, I'm in that boat, right? I'm definitely in it for the long term, even if it were to pull back 95% again. Like, so if you look at this from its all-time high, even down to a couple months later, I mean, that was a 70% down move. No, I did that wrong. It was more than that. All right, so we're, yeah, 70%. And then it continues. Like, I mean, you got some dead cat bounces, but then it eventually hit a low, pretty bad low. So let's see where this ended up. So it looks like from the top, there's a nice little thrill roller coaster ride of a lot of huge ups and downs with mostly higher lows and all the way down to about 85% down, looking like. Yeah, about 85%. So now when we look at this, man, it looks pretty, that makes it look pretty parabolic. We got to scrunch this down. Yeah, it's still looking pretty parabolic. Until we stretch this out, then it doesn't look as bad. All right, so yeah, I think we got a good, what did we say? We had a 180% up move at one point. If that kind of continues, again, you know, with all the institutional buying, we're at about 81%. So we got a bit more to go. We could probably go up, if it were to repeat, about 83,000, 85,000, and then we would get like a possible 30% dip. So that's if things repeat. You know, there is some cyclicality. You could look up some Fibonacci's and take a look at that. And I think the current Fibonacci level is around 56,000. So there might be a small pullback there. A lot of it depends on how much the miners and even F2 pool want to mess with this. But that's what we're looking at. Again, I'm going to be looking, if it starts going parabolic, you've got to consider taking profits off the board. Me personally, I just want to get my initial investment off the board because it is short-term capital gains right now. I do want to get into long-term capital gains, but if I can at least get my initial investment off the board, I'm playing with house money. And then I'm going to continue to dollar cost average in. And if it pulls back hard and it dips hard, take my initial investment and I go right back in, right? If I time it wrong, and if you're wrong and it continues to just go up, up, and up, who cares? You're on house money. You're still making a lot of money. You've taken your initial investment off the board and you can invest it in stocks. You can invest it in real estate. You can put it into BlockFi, even if it's just cash, and earn 8.6% interest. There's also a link down to Celsius down below. Check that out. It's pretty cool. You can earn over 12% interest right now on Gemini stablecoin, so which is just basically the US dollar. I do want to point out again, those accounts, I've got to tell you, those accounts are not SIPC and FIDC insured. They're not insured. So if they were to technically get hacked, depending on the severity of the hack, you know, or they just go out of business, basically if they go out of business, you're going to lose your money because it's not insured. All right, let's talk back over to the stock market. I'm scared. I don't even want to look at it. Because we're probably losing money over there today, boys and girls. No Chipotle on me, no Chipotle on Tom today. All right, so Tesla's not doing too bad. It's only down about $13. I got a lot on in Tesla in all my accounts. I've got a lot of 100 shares in my big account, 100 shares in my IRA, and I've got a lot of put spreads on there that are most likely, I mean, I got a lot of put spreads everywhere, so they're all losing money. Riot is looking like it's making a bit of a comeback. It was down more this morning, right? Mara, the same thing. Those things were down like $3, $4, $5, $6, so they're starting to rebound. I think they will go green based on let's see where Bitcoin's at right now. So Ethereum overnight looks like it hit a high of 1928, 1929. It's currently at 1918, so it's $10 off all-time highs. Is it going to hit $2,000 today? Every time I think it's going to hit a mark, I think, you know, it deserves like 2,000 or Bitcoin 50,000. It never happens. It always pulls back, and then it takes another week or two. So I'm just going to say right now it's not going to happen, right? We're going to reverse jinx it. There is no chance Ethereum hits $2,000 today. Bitcoin pushing for 55, 60,000. No chance. Even though that would only be like a 5% move, it's currently trading about flat. No chance. Doge, man. Doge taking a smack on the nose. Is it time to get back into Doge? You know, I was looking at this yesterday. If Doge were to get down to about under 4 cents, like 0.037, maybe you want to take a gamble on it. Me personally, it's a no-fly zone for me in general. You know, a lot of the hype around it's kind of faded. Elon's kind of like talking about his own coin right now. There's no chance. He's telling the whales they need to sell, and he'll even liquidate their accounts and pay for it. There's no chance that's going to happen, man. I forget the number, but like only a few people own like 50 or 60% of Doge. There's no chance, man. They're making too much money off of it. Why? They don't care about Elon. All they care about is their own checkbook. So ultimately, eventually, I do think Tesla is going to end up, Tesla or Elon and SpaceX, you know, the whole conglomerate is probably going to make a coin. And there's a lot of cool things you can do with that. Like, and a lot of companies probably need to consider, and this could be the future, look into doing this, is making a coin and rewards for your customers. Just think about it. You own this coin, you get Tesla rewards, you get blah, blah, blah. There's so much you could do with it, right? If Elon were to make a coin, it would probably almost instantly be a top 5 coin. It would be crazy. People would be throwing their grandmothers off bridges to buy this coin. I mean, I personally wouldn't, but you know, the thought, like, I'm kidding. But it would definitely be a monster. I think the likelihood of them coming out with their coin is probably highly likely. I mean, Facebook's already doing it. I don't know what kind of regulations would surround that, though. I mean, oh, excuse me, coffee burp. You're really getting into some crazy stuff there. There's already some, you know, that was part of the FUD last week. An old article kind of resurfacing that some big analyst said the government's not going to allow these companies to replace US dollars with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because it is eventually going to lead to the demise of the US dollar, or, you know, as the reserve currency. In my opinion, that ship's sailing. It's already sailing. It's eventually going to happen. Whether that's 5 years or 50 years, I don't know. The US needs to figure it out, needs to pull their head out of their butt, in my opinion, and start accumulating Bitcoin themselves. Like, for example, when the FBI obfuscated Silk Road, man, they auctioned that off for cheap, man. They should have just put that on a ledger and put it right next to the Kennedy files and the Area 51 files, right? Legally, I don't know if they can do that, but legally they can do whatever the hell they want, right? So I believe the US, yeah, man, I don't know who, Janet and Powell or whoever, start buying Bitcoin, please, right? Stop buying junk bonds, start buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to be the future. A lot of people are still, again, we're all early, we all get it. Bitcoin is don't worry about anything else about Bitcoin. this is all you need to know. If you come across this video and if you're new, this is all you need to know. Bitcoin is a supply and demand driven store of value. That's it. You can easily move it around. You can easily transport it. You can easily hold on to it safely. You don't have to have banks. It's a store of value. It's deflationary. There can only ever be 21 million Bitcoin in the world. Another thing a lot of people don't understand when they get into this, they think Bitcoin's too expensive. Oh, Bitcoin's 52,000. I can't afford one Bitcoin. You don't need to buy one Bitcoin. You could buy a fraction of you could buy a 1/1,000,000th of a Bitcoin, right? One Satoshi, they're called Satoshis. So it takes 100 million Satoshis, I believe, right? 100 million Satoshis just to get to one Bitcoin. So you could buy $20 a Bitcoin. You could buy $50, $1,000. The goal for you out there, if you're new, is to try and get around 0.2 to 0.28. I think 0.28 is the magic number. And right now, 0.28 is going to run you about $13,000, right? But $13,000 buys you 1%. You're in the 1% of Bitcoin owners. The holy grail is to be a whole coiner, in my opinion, is to own one whole Bitcoin. So start grinding, man. This crypto market, there's so much out there. Start grinding, whether it's watch your expenses, start using programs, and I use them. True Capital, really good. It'll show you your expenses. I was spending like $600 a month, $800 a month on like Ubers and Chipotles and Pyologies. And start shopping, make your own food. Cut that down to like $300. I cut that down to like $300 a month, easy. Ate healthier, ate better, and then now I have $500. You know, when I first started doing that, all that money was going into the stock market. Right now, every penny I save, every penny I can put aside, it's going into cryptocurrency. And if you do the same, we're all going to wherever we want to live. Living filthy rich. If you're poor, I know it's a lot harder. If you don't have the money, I mean, you just got to grind. I know it's tough. Mow some lawns, do Uber Eats. I don't know. Like I'm not doing that, but I'm an old man. I'm already worn out. I'm tired. I've got enough money that I can invest. I should go out there and grind more, but you know. Yeah, just grind, save your pennies. And again, not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. I'm saving every penny I can. I can put it into the cryptocurrency market. That Binance dollar, man. So Binance, the Binance chain, Binance, if you don't know, Binance is the biggest exchange on the market. In the US, there's not as much. I mean, it's a little bit highly regulated in the US, so there's a lot of things we can't do on there. We can't do the derivatives market, which is kind of a bummer. I personally I can't wait for derivatives and options and futures. And well, we have futures, but I'm talking like leverage trading, and I can leverage trade on Kraken. I just haven't time to spend how to do that quite yet. And leverage trading honestly scares the hell out of me, even though I've been trading in stocks, options, and futures for a very long time. And I have no problem trading futures, leveraged futures. I made a good chunk of money at the end of the year, beginning of the year, leverage trading Bitcoin actually over here. I was crazy. I was out of my mind. I was like, this was true Wall Street bets YOLO level. But the Bitcoin future is 5-to-1 right here. If we take a look at it, that's 5-to-1 leverage. So if you go long that, every $100 it goes up, that's $500 in profit. Every $100 it goes down, that's $500. And Bitcoin can move, right? It's not moving a whole lot right now. It's been staying pretty steady. But when I went long, because I was so sure that the boom was coming, I had actually started really buying into Bitcoin pretty heavy around August. And then I didn't really know Coinbase, Binance, and all that stuff really well. Man, links down below. If you guys don't have these accounts, get them going. Binance is like a 15-day wait. In my opinion, Binance is the best exchange, especially if you're in the US, because the fees are so low. And you buy that Binance dollar, it's an actual chain, just like Ethereum, just like Polkadot, just like Cardano. It's actually a smart contract chain. I think it's going to the moon. I honestly wish I would have bought more. I have about 40 of them right now. Again, I think that one's going to the moon. The other utility it has is you can set your app or your buying to use Binance as your fees. And when you do that, you get a lot off your fees. I think like 20%, 25%. Look on their fee schedule. You just flip a switch, and instead of using US dollars to pay for your fees, it uses Binance dollar. And with the link down below, I believe if you sign up with that link, you get even another 20% or something like that off your fees. Don't hold me to that. There's referral rewards for it, so check it out. But I try to buy everything I can on Binance because the fees are so good compared to your Coinbases, your Geminis, etc. Coinbase and Gemini, the fees are crazy. And that's one of the big reasons why I think the Coinbase IPO is going to be insane. And I think it's going to be a really good short to midterm play. I'm very tempted to get into the Coinbase IPO. The one thing that scares me is I'm already pretty highly invested in cryptocurrency overall. I would say like 70, I'm out of control. 75% or so of my portfolio is in cryptocurrency right now. The other like 25 to 30% is in the stock market, but you're seeing my screen right now. I mean, there's not a whole lot of divergence between cryptocurrency. I mean, 100 shares of Tesla, 9%, 10%, that number keeps going up because they keep making a ton of money off their Bitcoin buy. But Tesla's a Bitcoin play. Let's go over to my IRA. I think my IRA is almost completely an entire proxy into Bitcoin, except for, look, NEO is the only Palantir, is just a put spread. That's nothing. NNDM, couple puts, so that's nothing. So I would say like 90% of this account is basically a proxy into cryptocurrency. So if the cryptocurrency market crashes, the only thing saving my ass right now is Tesla. And how much is that going to save my butt? Because that's crypto too. But you see, we got Riot, we got 130 shares. Oh, Neo is not. So yeah, about 90%. I got a good 15 shares of MicroStrategies, made good profit off that. As you can see, I've definitely made good money off your Riots and your Maras. If we come over, we don't even want to look at my small account because that's just crypto. It's just crypto, right? I enabled crypto over here. I've been buying into crypto, done really well. I talk about this account all the time. This is one of my favorite accounts. We started this bad boy October 2020. I started it with, oh man, $2,500. Yeah, it was a $2,500 account challenge. And then I put $250 a month into it. So it's been 4 months. So we put $3,500 into this account. It's currently pushing right around $7,500. So in 4 months, it's over 100%. And just recently, they enabled cryptocurrency like 2 weeks ago. So up until 2 weeks ago, 80-90% of those profits were mostly options plays, right? And mostly Tesla. I made a lot of money in Tesla over here just selling high probability put credit spreads. Selling options is one of the best ways to make money. High probability once you learn how to do it, once you understand the risk. And you can do defined risk trades. We do it over here all the time. Actually might look to put some plays on though. Yeah, the Nasdaq's making a bit of a rebound. What's the volatility at? We always got to check that volatility. So the volatility is only up 0.5 point. It's hovering at 26. So that's not too bad. I don't think this is going to be a huge long-term dip, to be honest. I think it's going to be very short-term. I believe we got our stimulus checks coming. I'm not even really sure where we're at on that. I think we got more money coming, right? But yeah, the Ethereum was just bought. I've done 3 different Ethereum buys. So 50%, what are we at? Over like, oh my goodness. Not 85% of this account's crypto. We have one, like pure crypto. We have a little over 3 Ethereum. And to be honest, buying crypto over at Tastyworks right now is not the best place to do it. but I had the option to do it. I'm trying to grow this account, so you can only do it on one account. So I did do it on this account. I think like Ethereum right now in this account, I think Ethereum's the greatest way to build this account. So that's why I bought it over here. The best way to really do Ethereum, in my opinion, is to buy it on Binance and then send it over to something like Celsius or BlockFi and earn interest on it. But at the end of the day, this isn't necessarily my long-term Ethereum holdings. I'm talking about taking profits off the board at certain times. I don't want to take any profits off the board in my BlockFi to get my initial investment locked in. Over here will be a great place to do it. So, you know, and with Tastyworks, you can't take custody of it. No, I asked the CEO about it, and he said that's eventually going to come. I would imagine more assets are going to come. So I do have a link down below to this. I do think Tastyworks is the best trading platform on the board for people that are not for everyone, for people that are highly active. They like to trade a lot. There's so many good tools with this. It's not that hard to learn, especially if you're into options, especially if you're into futures. If you're not into it, it's stuff I highly recommend that you learn. Their mobile app is pretty good, but it's not as easy to like buy shares as say like Robinhood, right? So if you just want easy, Robinhood, I completely liquidated all my money out of Robinhood after that last fiasco. It really pained me to do it because I was up quite a bit of my Bitcoin. And so when I liquidated it, I immediately locked that into short-term capital gains. The reason I did it though is I was scared the possibility of them going under was on the board, and it still might be. This I'm not saying, I'm just saying that fear was there. And I had a lot of Bitcoin over there, and if they were to go under, if they were to say, man, sorry, we're bankrupt. Well, if you were in stocks and options, it would be FIDC or SIPC, whatever, insured up to like 250,000. And it would take a long time to get that money back, but you would get it back, right? Well, if you're in crypto, you're done. So I just said, man, I can't risk this. I can't take custody. So I just liquidated it, and then I ended up moving it all into BlockFi. So at the end of the day, the interest on BlockFi will make up for those capital gains. So at the end of the day, it was probably the best play anyway. Now that I feel a little bit better about it. That wasn't earning S over at Robinhood. They're probably earning money off your crypto over there. But now they're announcing their trick because they're in some deep doo-doo with people, man. A lot of people got rid of their accounts, and now they've been threatening to make custody of your Bitcoin and your cryptocurrency, bringing that to their consumers for years. But they really have no incentive to do it, because once you buy it and take it off, then the assets is no longer on their books, right? So now I just read that I don't know how soon they're going to implement it, but I think it's probably going to be pretty soon from what I saw. That's kind of a bummer, but I just couldn't take the risk, man, if they would have went under. Because the first thing I would have done once they offered that is, my Bitcoins would have gone immediately to BlockFi. All right, let's wrap this up. I do got to get to work. Let's see. Thanks for everyone that came to the channel and smash the likes. Go. Like, subscribe, bell button. Actually, man, let's pull up the spreadsheet. Let's see how we're doing. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen this is my current holdings. Again, Binance, man. What's Binance at? I wish I'd have bought more. Binance is 2.51% of my portfolio. If you look at the big ones in my portfolio, Ethereum's number one. That one's really been lagging in this bull run, to be honest. Something's holding it back. I think it's eventually going to boom to 3,000 plus here pretty soon, pretty quick, in my opinion. My second biggest holding is our Cardano. I love me some Cardano, sitting at 30%. Third would be Bitcoin. The end game is going to be Bitcoin being the biggest percentage of my portfolio. But right now we're just trying, so I think Cardano, I think the cycles prove this. The altcoins outperform Bitcoin at the end of the day. Just a bit of timing. I'm very, very, very bullish on the smart chains right now. Cardano, I got my Cardano staked. I'm earning free Cardano right now, right around 5%. Polkadot, I love. Man, I wish I'd have bought me some more Polkadot. Staking then on Kraken, getting 12%. I'm earning a little over 1 free Polkadot a week. And just think about that, man. Polkadot is going to go $100 easy. Possibly $200 or $300, if not more, this cycle. BNB, I don't think you can. I wish Binance would offer staking on the BNB. That might be something that's coming. Actually, that might be something that's even available outside of the US. I need to take a look at that a bit more. But those are the ones I love, man. Me personally, it's the Bitcoin. And I was going to take a look. Let's take a look at the crypto coin market cap. I thought this is the one that had Tesla on here. Did they take that down? Is the joke over? I think they do need to make an Elon coin. So look at Binance, man. That one's really come up. When I first bought it, when I first started my Binance account, I don't know, like 6 weeks ago, somewhere around there. Again, man, get that account open. The KYC on that's brutal. It took me 7 business days for the KYC to get approved, and then you had to go through another 1-day bank account approval. Brutal. I think that's up to 15 days now. The Binance has really good security. They have really, really good security if you turn it on. I mean, even just to move stuff out of your account, you can turn on 2-factor authentication. You have to whitelist your address and they send you an email, and in the email you can enable this is really, really cool. They enable anti-malware phishing code. So you create a code. It's 12-digit. I have a 12-digit PIN code. You want to know it? I can tell you right now. Psych, nah. Anyway, so you create a 12-digit PIN code, and that email comes to you saying, hey, you just added this Ethereum address to send your Bitcoin or your Ethereum out to this other wallet. Do you approve this email, right? Well, a hacker or malicious actor can send you these emails that look exactly like it, but they're not going to know your 12-digit PIN code unless you somehow let that get leaked, right? So that's just on top of the security, and even to approve it. So you got to whitelist it, enter your 2-factor. Make sure you have 2-factor set up. Google Authenticator at minimum with all your accounts, right? Not SMS, because SMS is more easily hackable. Google Authenticator is pretty freaking hard to hack. I personally haven't heard of any story of that happening. Another really good thing I use wherever I can is YubiKeys. YubiKeys are amazing. Like for Gemini, Binance doesn't have it yet, which is a bummer. Kraken has it, but for some reason it stopped working, and I haven't been able to figure out why. But there's others, and it's going to continue to be added to all websites eventually. But you just go to the website. I'm going to talk about Bitwarden. There's other ones out there like 1Password, but I use Bitwarden. Bitwarden's an extension. You put it on your browser, and then you can also install it on your phone. All these accounts, I have 128 character or whatever the max character password is, with uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and special characters. Extremely, extremely difficult, if not impossible, to brute force right now. You add all these things up, you're going to have really good security, right? So you can, and it's great. I don't know any of my passwords. I just copy and paste from my app in the phone, or I just copy and paste, or it just enters right in on the website. And then these are amazing 2-factor too. The sites that do it, you set up your YubiKey. You have backup YubiKeys too that you store off site that I haven't done yet. I have a backup key. I need to get that off site. You go to the website, you enter in your username and your 128 character password, and it says touch your YubiKey. You touch your YubiKey and you log right in. Extremely difficult to hack. I dare say it's not even really hackable, to be honest. The only way your money's going to get hacked with all that set up is if the exchange gets hacked. All right, so what was I? Yeah, look at Binance, man. I remember when I first started buying this, only bought like 4 or 5. I didn't really understand the Binance. All I knew about was the utility and saving trading fees. So I bought like 5 of them, 4 or 5 of them at $45. It wasn't that long ago. And I think this was hovering, market cap was hovering around 12 or 13 or 11, right? And now look at it. Are you kidding me? It's 4. Oh my goodness. This morning, it was behind Cardano. It's pushed Cardano. It's pushed past Cardano. That is huge. Polkadot. Oh my goodness. It's flipped them both. Are you kidding me? This morning, it was behind both. What's it at right now? 196. What's it? So all three of these are right here, hovering around 29, 28 billion. I believe all three of these are going to eventually probably take out Tether, and the fight's just going to continue. And these top assets right here are your safest blue chips on the board. And you'll see again, those are the highest percentages of my portfolio. The rest of it's a lot more risky, small amounts. And of all these other small amounts, I would say the ones I really want to get more of are Theta and probably Engine. I'm really big on NFTs. Very, very, very early to the game in NFTs. A lot of people don't get it, but NFTs are going to be huge. They're going to be huge. I was just thinking about this morning. Virtual reality is going to be huge too, right? That's another reason why Facebook, man. I need to start accumulating more Facebook the more I think about it, right? Because Facebook might become the #1 company in the world. FinTech, virtual reality with their Oculus. There will very likely be a time where people, just think about this, having remote meetings with like Oculus headsets on, and you're all sitting around each other in a virtual like conference room, right? I think that's very, very likely in the future. And there's actually a lot of businesses that are running through my head that could capitalize off that. And you know what one of them is? NFTs. Can you imagine, even not just office settings, like virtual Christmases, virtual parties, when you have family and friends all around the world, you can just get on and you can go to your, like, that's why Decentraland actually might be pretty freaking huge the more I think about it. Something like that, right? You can all go, like, there's land, NFT land in Decentraland going for tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands. Are you freaking kidding me? The graphics on it, when I played it, I only played it for a few minutes, but it wasn't even that big. So just think about that. You could buy an NFT house or NFT land or have NFT offices, NFT artwork in your land, in your offices, NFT like collector, anything in the real world, collector plates, collector like little nice ass chandeliers, right? Digital, amazing digital artwork. Like the adoption curve, we're at the very, very beginning. So I'm looking to currently try and make and invest small amounts in NFT plays, and that's Reef. Reef has NFTs on the roadmap this year. It's on the Polkadot network. We know I love the Polkadot network. There's a huge potential there. Again, we're keeping it small on this stuff because it's high risk. You do not, in my opinion, you do not want to YOLO into this small stuff. It could pay off, but it's much, much higher risk. I mean, as it is, Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano and Polkadot and BNB are high risk compared to, like, say, the stock market. Although I think that, I think that gap's closing, and I do think there's going to be a lot more liquidity coming into it personally. As again, I've gone on record saying several times, I do think this time is different, but the more parabolic it goes, the more nervous you got to get. So again, NFTs, man, I'm not looking necessarily to go out and buy a bunch of NFTs. I'm not that baller that I want to go out and just, I'm not an expert at what NFT, and it's so early. Like, there's a lot of these NFTs going for crazy high prices. We have no idea if those NFTs will continue to hold value. We got to continue to see how that market matures. It's going to take years, even possibly decades, but that is going to continue to mature. Me personally, I'm just trying to make money off NFT plays. And one of those is Flow. I might buy some Flow. Flow is really big with the tops, the NBA tops, or yeah, they had some NBA, I forget their name, the NBA something. Some of those NFTs, like there's a LeBron James dunk or something going for like 45,000. And one of the cool things about these NFTs is you own it. It can't be reproduced, right? You can't, and it's on the blockchain. And if you sell it, you can follow that NFT wherever it goes, right? That's really cool. So, and Flow is going, I mean, if they're in NBA's pocket, they're going to be in the NFL, they're going to be in the NHL. They continue to grow with whatever, right? There's much more than sports too, right? The one thing that when I was looking at Flow, I didn't really like is there was a lot of uncirculated supply out there, though. So there's potentially a lot of dilution. I don't know what their payout schedule is to the team and what have you. But I still probably want to get some Flow on my books, and I believe you can stake Flow. I'm like 99% sure you can stake Flow on Kraken, so I definitely want to check that out. Let's wrap this up. Didn't I say that like 15 minutes ago? All right, Bitcoin's 52.19. My spreadsheet's on a 10-minute auto refresh, so let's actually go to the charts. Bitcoin dominance, how we doing? Bitcoin dominance down a bit. A bit of a surprise, actually. All right, so Bitcoin 51,991 with the high so far being 52,556. So we're only $500-$600 off the high. Again, I'm saying it right now. There's no chance Bitcoin hits 55,000. Ethereum, look at that nice little pump. Ethereum about $10-$11 off its all-time high. Only $80 away from 2,000. No freaking chance in hell Ethereum hits $2,000 today. Cardano ADA. Love me some Cardano ADA, man. Come on, Cardano. We need to get to $1 plus. Let's pump, pump, pump. They got the Gogan coming soon, Mary, all that stuff. There's a lot of catalysts coming. A lot of birdies chirping. I think this one is going to be pushing $2 here before we can even blink an eye. It is currently 6.5 cents away from $1. Zero chance it hits $1 today. Actually, what's the high on this so far? So the high today is roughly, 95.9, so 96 cents, we'll say. No chance Cardano hits $1. And then Polkadot, my fourth biggest holding. It's had a really good pump the last couple weeks. They've released a roadmap. Lots of exciting news coming out. It's already very mature. They've already got projects on there. It's doing really well. I started investing in this pretty heavily around like $15-$16. I wish I'd have bought more, but I've only got so much money. That's one of the problems with this cryptocurrency. It's an addiction. You want this coin, you want that coin, and you never have enough. And then once you have it, it's like you don't even want to give it up, man. Like how much it's worth is only half the battle. It's just the joy of owning it. It's crazy, right? It's like any collectible, and you can't even touch it, man. But it's there. It's there. All right, let's take a quick look at the markets. I'm probably not gonna do anything in the markets today. Oh man, Nasdaq now down 180. You know what I should have done is shorted some Nasdaq futures just to lower my delta some. I'm not worried about it though. Honestly, I think this week could continue to be kind of red, kind of choppy. I don't think we're gonna get any huge flush. Actually, let's pull this up on TradingView and see how we look so far. Elron Gold had a nice little, it was on sale recently. So I don't know. Elron Gold is one of those ones I like too. I do have 10 Elron Gold. I'd wish I had bought more down here. I think 50, there's something about 50 in staking or something that works out really nice. Kind of wish I'd have did that, but I'm not FOMOing into more Elron Gold. Even though I think Elron Gold has a very, very huge upside. It was on sale recently. It was almost unlikely anyone got in on this wick, but even down in these levels right here, it was a pretty good sell opportunity. I'm going to look at this chart. Polkastarter. I'd been threatening to buy this heavily at around $2, $1, but I didn't know Uniswap at the time. And that got away from me, right? So maybe if this dips back down, we get down back to this 20. The 20 EMA, maybe I'll scoop me up some Polkastarter. So Polkastarter is really cool. It's like Kickstarter, but it's for projects on the Polkadot network. I think it's going to be very successful. I wanted to look at the NASDAQ ETF just to kind of get an idea of where we are. So From the all-time high, we are currently sitting at about only 2%. Is that right? Yeah, not too bad. I feel like it's been more than that. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of red this week, but it's not even that bad yet. We've definitely got like 10% correction is nothing, right? And then maybe we start blasting off again. I believe the stimulus checks are coming. You know, are they gonna FOMO? Like, are you young hoppers gonna FOMO? You're probably gonna FOMO on cryptocurrency this time around, though. All right, time to get to work. Love you guys. Catch you tomorrow. Peace.